Just going to talk a bit about the roles of muscles now. So obviously we know about, our pectoralis major is responsible for horizontal flexion, our upper traps are responsible for elevation, but there's other roles that we can talk about when we're exercising. So we're going to talk about 4 different roles. The first role is the prime mover. So muscles will assume these roles depending on what the exercise is. Now the prime mover is the muscle that's doing the majority of the work, really. So during a push-up, my pectoralis major is doing the majority of the work. That's the prime mover. Doing a wide grip chin-up, my latissimus dorsi is doing the majority of the work. So that's the prime mover. Now there's another name for that. We also call that the agonist. So it's important to remember that. Prime mover is the agonist. Now, in order for muscles to contract efficiently and effectively, we need other muscles to relax. So during a bicep curl, if I want to bring that bar up, I don't want my triceps to contract. They need to relax. And that's referred to as the antagonist. So muscles always work in pairs. Biceps are the agonist, the triceps are the antagonist. Now that role can change because if I'm doing a tricep push down, my triceps now become the prime mover, which is known as the agonist. My biceps are relaxing, so now they become the antagonist. So just to recap that again, the agonist is what we call the prime mover, and the prime mover is the one that's doing the majority of the work, the bulk of the activity or exercise. The muscle that has to relax in order for the agonist to contract is the antagonist. So that's those 2. We also have fixator muscles. I've mentioned fixator muscles previously when talking about the trapezius, because the trapezius has a big role in preventing unwanted movement of the shoulder girdle. So your fixator muscles do exactly that. They prevent unwanted movement. Our core muscles are big fixator muscles, so especially our transversus abdominis, which helps to stabilize our spine. Our abdominals and our obliques and our lower back muscles, all those muscles can play that role as well. So if I'm doing any sort of exercise where I need to stabilize my spine, those muscles can act as fixators. So that's the role of a fixator. And lastly, we have our synergists. And synergist muscles are, you could refer to them as the assister muscles, the muscles that help out with exercises. So during any sort of pressing movement, my triceps and my deltoids, they help out. They're not doing as much as my pecs, but they're helping. So we call those synergists. When you're doing, even in a squat, as you're coming out of a squat, your calves are helping. So if you're coming up onto your toes, they're going to act as synergists, running and jumping, things like that. So although quads, glutes and hamstrings are probably the prime movers, you're still always going to have other muscles that are helping out. And they are what we call our synergist muscles. So we've got agonists, which are the prime mover, antagonists, they have to relax in order for our agonist to contract. We have our fixators that prevent unwanted movement, like the muscles of the core or the shoulder girdle. And we have our synergists, which are the muscles that help out.